Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jan. I'm the CEO of Acquire.Fi. We have Andrew from Magnus Capital here. I've been away for a couple of weeks. We've been trying to do these shows with Andrew, but unfortunately, because I've been having such a bad internet, we haven't been able to do these market reports. But hey, Andrew, back on track, right?
Hey man, how's it going? It's nice to be back and good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise. Tell me what's going on in the market. I was away. I tried to do a video on Monday, but it was so crappy with my voice because of the Wi-Fi. But
Yeah.
things are not
Well,
looking great, no? Warren
well,
Buffett cashing out.
yeah. He cashed out another like 300 mil or something ridiculous. He's got a whole like stockpile of cash now.
Yeah,
The thing is like we had the Jackson Hole last week, and it was kind of a bullish event because Powell did come out and say that he is gonna cut rates in September. So during that day, the markets did rip up a lot higher. Equities ran up. Crypto over the weekend ran up quite a bit. And then beginning of this week, we ended up just kind of like selling off. It seemed like people are just kind of taking profits and whatnot. I personally thought the market would continue higher and, we would front run the event since we already know what's going to happen. But it's been a bit sideways a bit. And then we also had like tech earnings a couple days ago. NVIDIA did beat their earnings expectation. And so I think a lot of the selling was just also like taking profits on the news event. And now we're just kind of in the middle of it.
yeah. And then
um,
also Pavel Durov getting arrested in Paris, which is not good. Obviously,
yeah,
almost everyone in crypto are using Telegram, and
yeah,
seeing Don going crushing is not great.
yeah. I mean, Telegram goes away, that would suck. Like a lot of our business and like conversations are done on Telegram. It seems to be the number one app for all of crypto. So I think that definitely spooked the market a little bit. And yeah. So over here, I have the seasonality charts open here. We were supposed to have a bit of a strong finish to August. So we did see a bit of a rally kind of the last week. But now, this week was a little bit iffy. And then if you look at seasonality, September, the first couple of weeks of September is supposed to be a little bit of a sell-off, a little bit of a trough here. And then kind of giving you a little bit more of like a heavier sell-off at the end of the September. And then that kind of creates like the bottom for the Q4 season, essentially. And this is the S&P. This is the tech sector as well. So, we're supposed to have a pretty strong finish into August. And then we get the initial sell-off in the first 2 weeks of September. And then that also kind of makes sense because, the first couple of weeks of September, that's when all the professionals come back from their summer vacation at the Hamptons. Students are going back to school. Summer pretty much ended. So, people just want to kind of cash out, reset the books. Tax sell-off season kind of starts around September as well now. So that's kind of what we were expecting with the seasonality stuff. And then, we can kind of jump right into the charts here.
Yeah, I think overall, like I'm also seeing quite bearishness at the moment. I was actually like surprised. I was waiting for a bull run here in the end of August and the beginning of September, but let's see. Things are not looking great. Obviously, DXY was going down, but
Noon.
now pumped. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. But yeah, what do you see on BTC?
Here, let me go back to the chart. So on Bitcoin, we had a really nice rally coming in from, the last couple of weeks. We had like the Friday news come in, market really tried to pump it over the weekend. We had this nice big W confirm. And what I think what's going on is just like a retest of this original breakout, it looks like. And then obviously, we came into resistance, short reload zones, like I always say. These areas are kind of like spots that you will expect to see resistance. So we came right into 61.8, got smacked right down. But now we're sitting against a 38.2 first stop support level here on the long side of things. So, hopefully the market can hold and consolidate here and we can start printing more W's and then, back up we go. But for now, it does seem like we are kind of struggling here. Not the best signs, but it's also not the worst signs, right? Technically, it is, doing what we should be seeing here technically. And then over here, I have this like a CME chart here. The bull Rami is still in effect here, right? The setup doesn't get invalidated until we lose these lows. And I was looking in just like a simple 2-to-1 here. I really thought that after we confirmed this W breaking out, that the market would go up. But unfortunately, it actually did the opposite, came back down, broke down. And now we're just kind of like sitting right above a 200 SMA. And the market's trying to decide, do we want to keep going up or do we just want to start breaking down from here? So hopefully we do start carving out more W's to the upside rather than M's coming back down. Yeah. And then we can go over to the Ethereum chart if you like.
Yeah, okay.
And the Ethereum chart is also not the most prettiest. I thought Ethereum looked a lot weaker than Bitcoin did. Bitcoin actually came back up and retested their 61.8 levels. Ethereum only came up to their first 38.2, the first stop resistance level coming back up. We got rejected, and now the market's kind of falling back down. The one thing I did notice that on this pullback, we did kind of come near the 61.8 reload zone. So this is typically where you want to see, rebounces and consolidation. So we came back, bounced up, and now the market is either trying to consolidate or figure out what it wants to do here. So, obviously we want to see W's as well rather than M's, but so far it's looking pretty weak, unfortunately.
Let's go see to the liquidation heat map, what we're seeing here. It's the basically same thing what you're saying. So we have a lot of resistance in 62,000 level, and if we break down 58,000, we're gonna just go down quite a lot, to be honest. There's not. Sorry.
We're gonna need to see your chart.
Oh man, again, there we go.
It's all good.
Here we go. Let's do the one 24 hours. But eventually 58,000, if we lose it, things are gonna get quite heated. We're gonna go probably to 57, 56 quite fast. And if we can go beyond 61,500, I would say that we have a good chance of breaking up towards 62, 65,000 levels. But as you said with Ethereum, like, dude, Ethereum still not like, it's not going great, to be honest.
Oh, it looks a lot weaker than Bitcoin, oddly. I thought they would do both well. They generally move together, so.
Yeah, if you look at the liquidation heat map over here, there's not a lot of liquidity at the moment. Beyond, above or below 65,000 levels, and then if we go to 26,000, it's not looking that great. Also, the Bitcoin ETF flows and ETH ETF flows has not been great. For the past 2 days, we've seen a lot of sell-off, and same thing with I think ETH. What is funny here is that remember, Grayscale has $9 billion worth of ETH, and obviously because their fee is so high, everyone are dumping their ETH from the fund. So it's still a way to go. And before we go halfway, I think these flows will be quite negative. But hey, yes, I think 2 days ago we had a one positive day, but as you can see, things are not looking great.
No, it's just been all negative. Holy.
Yeah, not great. But yeah, back to your graph.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll show you the Dixie here. Beginning of the week when I did my market report, I did warn people like, hey, the US dollar does look like it is going to try to rebounce. And, the last few days we have seen that bounce now. The main reason was because, we had this potential bull divs forming. We were oversold for quite some time. And we did hit like an 88.6 level, which is typically where institutions will step in. And then we did lose these critical low. And that to me looks like it was a liquidity high and a classic stop run kind of. So, I do see why this pumped up. And then also if you look at like euros and bonds and, yen, those charts also did start to show some weakness. So like, bonds here, we got a double top formed Yen, we still are forming like a double top here. Euros actually already did break down. And so maybe because of all three of these combined, these are typically inverse to the dollar. So that's why we did see a little bit of a breakdown, in my opinion. But, so far stocks seem to be holding a bit. We can look at the S&P and NASDAQ. When you look at like these charts, like they actually did do exactly what we expected, a rally pretty heavily into the end of August. The only thing is now we are against old previous highs. So that's why we're seeing a bit of like a pause here. The market has a lot of resistance here. So it's trying to figure it out whether you want to consolidate and break out or we consolidate and break down. We are at levels of resistance on the fibs. We are overbought. So momentum-wise, it is a bit sluggish. And if you look at the NASDAQ, it's kind of the same thing as well. Let's see. Yeah, so, NASDAQ is already in the short reload zone. We had the double top. We had the breakdown. And now the market is trying to either climb back up and consolidate some more, or this is just a retest of this double top, and then we might actually see further down. And then obviously, your low zones are where I want to find entries. So like the long side would be down here.
Got it. And I think also, if we go, I'm going to show the fundraising trend over here. To be honest, it's been quite choppy. There's not a lot of raises done. And obviously, the projects that are getting funding, they're like quite overvalued, at least from my side. What have you seen there, like on the fundraising stuff? Is it easy to raise money at the moment, or is it hard? At least from my side, I've seen the liquidity to dry up quite a lot.
I think it's pretty slow right now. It's especially with the recent sell-off this week. Haven't been seeing too much activity. I do see a lot of deals being passed around, but I'm not seeing many new raises or new people joining cap tables at the moment.
Yeah. I think one very interesting project that I'm looking at in the secondaries at the moment that is getting more and more traction is actually Babylon. And Babylon is basically a restaking platform for BTC, and it's native. So the speculation is this, like Babylon is going to be the same thing as Eigenlayer. And I think that this will pump eventually. So everyone that follows us, please look it up. We will probably do a separate episode just going through what they actually do. But I think it's good to see this because usually what happens in secondaries, and this happened with Eigenlayer, when once there's a lot of bids, so buy orders coming in, something will become very hot. And Babylon is on the verge of becoming very hot. And I think once the market rebounds, there's going to be a lot of trading going up in the secondaries. So everyone keep an eye on Babylon Labs. But yeah, back to you. And I think after that, we can maybe go and end this podcast.
Sure thing. There's a couple alts that I am eyeing right now. One of them is Akash Network. I like where it is. I like the reload zone that it's sitting in currently. We had the double bottom try to break out, and it's now being retested. So, if I do see the price slowly coming back up, that could be an entry point. Momentum-wise, it looks okay. I mean, we had a bullish div back here, so it's still kind of playing that out. And then we have this potential larger divergence. We would need to see the histogram break above that high here, though, for that to be confirmed. We never did hit oversold conditions here on this sell-off. We did hit it back here. So we're still kind of playing off the previous momentums back here. So it's a mixed bag there. So that's one. It's pretty happy with how Maple turned out. I think we might have talked about it on one of the streams here, but on my market report, I've been kind of screaming, this was a buy signal here. We had a nice big rally since the last couple of weeks. And now we're just kind of sitting and waiting. So it's nice to be in profit on this one. This is one of my biggest bags. As you can see, I have 4 different positions on here. And so this is another one. I also really like Pendle. I thought Pendle looked great here. at least a couple of weeks ago. That's where the entry was on that double bottom breakout. Now we're just kind of playing around. Looks like price might actually just come back down and retest it. But I still feel like this is a pretty strong name. We had a nice long reload zones. And and then also Beam. I actually really like Beam. Beam was also another one that actually turned out pretty good. We had a nice double bottom here right on the 70.6, which is generally my favorite level to hit. And I've already had an original position that I bought way down here the first time around. So this is my second DCA. And I mean, it looks like it's just kind of came back, did a Wyckoff check. It's holding right now. And I think this is still a promising play here.
Got it. Yeah, I think overall, like there's a lot of good opportunities out there if you are doing charge and if you're doing TA. Thank God we have you, and hopefully in our next session we can show some more opportunities what we can buy. But hey, Andrew, thanks for coming to the show again. Hopefully we can see you again next week. And you guys, please like and share, and please comment also. Ciao.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.